Disclaimer. Any of the guidance offered by the podcast host, myself, or the podcast guests is our own guidance. We are not liable for any of the actions the podcast listener decides to do. 3 things I've learned about relationships in 2025. I'm going to share these with you today so you can improve the quality of your relationships. Welcome back to the podcast today with me, Johnny Pardo. So I'm talking about all kinds of relationships, but often people want to know about dating and intimate relationships. And this definitely does cover it as well. From going for a place of being really hurt to finding someone amazing this year, I can cover that as well. Yeah, like relationships is, a tricky one, right? Especially in the area, like I said, of intimate and relationships and dating. Whether you're a guy looking for a girl like me, or whether you're, or whether you're a guy looking for a guy, or whether you're a girl looking for a guy, or whether you're a girl looking for a girl, or any gender looking for any gender, then this is for you as well today. So yeah, like I've had challenges with women in the past, and it was down to me. But I know a lot of women talk about guys in that way, and it can apply to any situation, like I said. But yeah, this is a podcast designed for all sorts of relationships, maybe your relationships, your friends as well. So yeah, like I've been in a place where I've been really hurt. Fortunately, for many years, I've had pretty good friendship groups, and I'm very blessed with a great family. I know that's not the case for everyone, but yeah, I've had situations where I felt like I was giving a lot, and I lost myself a bit in sort of dating and relationships, and ended up like just not feeling great about myself. So I can totally resonate. Completely different now. I have a great girl, but it's like, yeah, it can be a very painful thing when we don't do the inner work, I've noticed. And again, I'm going to say is like nothing's guaranteed in life. Like no relationship is guaranteed. Nothing is guaranteed in life other than the relationship certainty you can put into the relationship with yourself. Well, that was good. I just made it up on the spot. I've been guaranteed set the relationship certainty that you can put into the relationship yourself, because every relationship is prone to like something life happening, the person changing. I mean, you're going to change, hopefully, or like, fortunately, people pass away, people leave, all these kind of things, right? So like waiting on someone else to make you feel good, I've learned, is a recipe for disaster, because it puts it out of your hands. So yeah, let's go into the 3 main things I've learned about relationships in particular this year. So the first thing, and like I said, this is in response to all relationships, but it's particularly going to hit home about dating and intimate relationships. So the first thing is focus on you so much and building that relationship yourself. Now, we hear this a lot, and I was the person who heard this a lot intellectually, and a lot of people hear this intellectually. And I got to admit, I've dated girls who's heard this intellectually, and they thought they loved themselves, and they didn't, and I didn't either. But you've got to genuinely love yourself so much. Yeah, your behavior will show how much you love you. If you're getting into not your words, not just telling someone, "Oh, I love myself now." There's always work to do, and that it's an always ongoing process, particularly through adversity and challenges like that. When things are against you, that really tests your relationship with yourself. But your behavior is going to show. So, for example, if you're like, "I love myself," and then you keep picking toxic or avoidant partners, you don't love yourself, because you're picking the wrong person. Someone who loved themselves truly wouldn't do that. And that's no blame. It's just where you are, and maybe some unconscious things. Because I used to attract women who would like avoidant. I used to be like, "I love myself." I'm like, there's a gap here, right? I'm avoiding parts of myself to attract that in. So focus on loving yourself so much. It's also this, I've realized with relationships, you've got to live from the inside out, not the outside in. And that's where I've lived many years of my life. And that's where I see people living constantly, is from the outside in. What that means is I will seek to get things, i.e. love and affection and praise, from people outside of me to feel good, as opposed to making yourself feel good and being responsible for that, and then attracting the people into your life, right? So that's what and also, like, I've been in places where I didn't like myself, but I was fortunate to have people around me who did. I just couldn't take in their compliments because I did not love myself. So focus on loving you so much. It is absolutely vital. Your results are going to show
whether you love your behavior and results are going to show whether you love yourself or not from your words. Someone who truly loves themselves knows exactly what they want, and they're very consistent, and they're not afraid to set boundaries. If you deviate any of that, there's probably some work to do. It may be scary even when you've done the work, right? To say things and change character, of course, but just focus on loving you so much. And one thing I'm going to suggest that really helped me with this is like loving my inner child so much that anything outside of me wouldn't impact me because I had that strong relationship. Like, it's almost, I'm going to say that it's almost to a point that you be okay with just being on your own. Not like completely isolated from people and stuff like that, but in a place of you got to get to a point, I feel, and it was the case for me when something showed up in my life, something amazing showed up in my life, is I got to a point where I was like, I'm okay being on my own, not being in romantic relationships and spending a lot of time on myself. I got to that point. But if you're like, I need someone, that shows you got more work to do on yourself, personally, in my view, because if you really love yourself, I got to a point where it's like, I love myself so much. I praise myself. I like myself. And it's like, if someone shows up who's great, gonna, be great company, gonna support me, which I found, amazing. But if not, if I feel like they've not got the same energy, it's no judgment, or I don't feel like perhaps we could support each other and in that way, then okay, fine, just like I'll move on. But you want to get to that point where you love yourself that much that you're okay with being with you, and then anyone else who comes into your life is just a compliment. Someone else does not make you happy, you make you happy, right? They can magnify the happiness you got inside yourself, but they can also magnify the negatives inside yourself. I've been on both ends as well. Number 2 for improving your relationship, do something you love, do something you really enjoy. I.e., for me, it's like podcasting, making content, interviewing people. Really enjoy doing those things, creative things, my sport, my exercise. And when I focus on that and being in those moments, that really allows me to develop. That goes back to the first point of developing a strong relationship with me. So therefore, I attract better relationships into my life as well. And then number 3 is, and this is a really important one, I've said it before, I'm going to say it again, is go on instinct and how you're feeling, not on logic, for your relationships with people. And that goes for all relationships. I've been in like a group where it's like they're an intelligent bunch of people, like very skilled at what they did, but like something felt off. Like this has been a few times in my life, and I've listened to it and not listened to it in different ways. And actually, when I've listened to my feelings and then moved away from it, by their reactions and responses, it demonstrated I made the right decision to leave, because your gut is always right on what's right for you, right? Now, there's a little thing called fear that comes up sometimes and talks bullshit in your head and like lies to you and says, this isn't right for you. And that's different. But if you listen to your gut and your heart and you're like, this isn't for me, whether it's dating someone, whether it's a group, whether it's some other situation with people in life, then listen to that. Don't look at logic. Don't go, well, this person hits the boxes, or this group is a good group that I really should like. No, listen to your feelings. It's got more intelligence than that mind of yours, right? Listen to the feeling there and then use the mind to support it to make a plan to exit, right? So that's what I've learned as well. So those are my 3 things I want to share with you on relationships today that I've learned in 2025. Number 1 we talked about is focusing on loving you so much. That inner child, that real connection, get to a point where being on your own is okay. Now, that's not condemning you to being on your own forever, but it's like you're okay with being on your own, and anyone else who comes in is a compliment. That happened for me, and then someone showed up, right? Number 2, do something you love so much and put focus on that. And then number 3, go with your instinct and feelings over logic of this should be right. This should be right for me. Just go with your heart and listen to yourself. So that's what I got for you today. I appreciate you for being here. And remember to lead with your heart and not with fear.